Wednesday the 29th of April 20. This is where the Robin Hood Way comes out at the bottom of Chapel Lane, junction with Longdale Lane. The walk this morning I call the Round Ravenshead walk, because that's literally what it does, go round Ravenshead, and it follows the Robin Hood Way for most of the time, apart from this slight linking section in Blidworth. So it starts off this way, crossing over Longdale Lane and going up Kighill Lane. This is Kighill Lane with the garage on the corner. So I'm going up here, Kighill Lane. I started the walk at 8:32. I estimate it might take around 2.5 hours. Still walking up Kighill Lane. There's a bungalow somewhere in there. So this is the main A60 road, which we crossed for the first time. Obviously we have to cross it a second time to get back to where we started. And this is the style that we take. No, we don't need to take the style. We've got a Robin Hood Way symbol here, the green one, and we can clamber over this little step here to get down the path. It turns here as it passes a small wood. Just a general footpath indicator there, not the Robin Hood Way one. This is the correct way to be doing the Robin Hood Way, of course. It starts in Nottingham and finishes at Idwenstow. I think it's about 105, 110 miles now. Started off at being about 20 miles less, but it was extended. So dropping down to the access road to the market garden type place. Here's the access road. This side there's a main road off A60. The post has fallen over here, but you can see the sign on it. It diverges off the main track and through another wooded section. We've come out of the wood for a short distance. It's open on either side now. Through the pine wood still. As we exit the wood, the track turns left along the side of the wood, and we have a gate which is not fastened. Now we're down the side of the wood and the field. Then you can see the way ahead. It turns right along the hedge there under the pylons and we come out on Blidworth Way. This is the corner where the route turns right. There used to be a clear sign at the corner. There's been a bit of tree felling here. It's opened it up quite a bit. And there is a post but no Robin Hood Way sign. And it tells us to turn right. There it is, up the side of the hedge again, under the pylons. There's the first pylon. Approaching the second pylon now, and there's some work going on in the farm adjacent to this one. It's possible to walk under this pylon. Don't suppose it'll do any harm. Looks like the workers' cars are parked here. Now there's a slight gap at the side of the gate. So through the gap and out onto the side of Blidworth Way. The original Robin Hood's Way, when it was first designed, went down the road to the village of Papawick, but thanks to the efforts of Chris Thompson, it's now diverted through the wood at the side, which makes it very much safer than it was. At this point it does move off the road. It stays off the road until the entrance to the farms around Papawick Hall through the wood here. A stretch I use when I walk back from Hucknall, rather quieter at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well known for its bluebells at this time of year. They're probably past the best now. At this point it reaches an access to the field from this side. Somebody's kindly left their shopping, is it? In a Sainsbury's bag. Through the gate. And another Robin Hood Way sign this side. This time the gate is properly closed. Out of the wood into a small clearing. You can see we're running parallel to the road, but much safer here. So it comes out from the clearing and trees to the side of the road here, and you can see walking along the road how dangerous it would be. The path is onto the verge at the side, taking care not to slip into the road. The road itself drops down gradually into Papawick, but we take the track through the wood, and it's considerably higher than the road for most of the way and drops down at the end in a series of steps. Rather quieter than it was earlier, only from the works at that farm. Gradually dropping down, that we come to the steps eventually. Here's the steps. About 18 of them, and out onto the road again. So here it turns off the road, thankfully, and goes down past the farm and houses, with the sign pointing the wrong direction, of course. Public footpath in Newstead Abbey and Larch Farm. The side of this gate. With a fascinating sign on this site, September the 5th, 1782, nothing happened. I don't know how they know that. Something must have happened. That's through the open gateway here, and then we join a fine track that goes into the grounds for Newstead Abbey. Considerable signs just there. 5 miles an hour and 10 mile an hour signs. So there's the wider section of track. It gets grassier further on, and then you come to South Lodge, the boundary of the area belonging to Newstead Abbey. It's quite a long drive, this one, but it does get the distance done a bit. We're approaching the pylons again, 2 or 3 pylons further on from where we left them on Blidworth Way. This is where the shingle track turns right and the Robin Hood Way carries straight on, rather greener than the track. Not use or anything, because the access to South Lodge is from Newstead Abbey gates and on its own tarmac track. So there's the pylons going up to Blidworth Way. We carry on the green track here. Approaching the gates to the area belonging to South Lodge. A very isolated spot. Sometime in the past 30 years the route was changed, officially or unofficially, I have no idea. But at this point we used to turn to the right and go down the main drive, but now that is fenced off and one goes to the left hand side of the laurel hedge. The laurel hedge is nicely maintained, trimmed very nicely here, and at the end of which the track comes out. You see the problem if you go along the main track, caution dog running free, and there's people walking down here. So down the tarmac drive, the access to South Lodge, which eventually joins the main drive to Newstead Abbey Park, which we don't drive, we don't take that route. That's only accessible by the main entrance at Newstead Abbey gates, for which there's a charge in the daytime. At this point there's a seat where it's possible to sit and meditate while looking over Newstead Abbey, although at this time of year it's hidden by the trees that's through there. So after that very brief look at Newstead Abbey, we'll continue along the tarmac track. In a moment the Robin Hood Way swings right off it. The main track swings left and joins the main road from Newstead Abbey gates to the Abbey. We turn off here. There used to be a sign, but I can't see it at the moment. There is a sign with the Robin Hood Way green on. are properties in the grounds of Newstead Abbey, and there's one with acres and acres of land. Through this little bit and then down to the main road across and up the other side. The access road is down there. Here's our track. It's 9:33, so just an hour to get to this point. It comes out on the main access road, silver birch blown over there. No access to Newstead Abbey. There's the way to Newstead Abbey gates. That's the way we're going. That's the way to Newstead Abbey itself and the car park. And the silver birch that's leaning over. Our path is up there with the different Robin Hood Way symbol on that one, Nottinghamshire County Council Robin Hood Way. Unfortunately, it's just beginning to rain. I didn't think any rain was forecast until about 2 o'clock. Hopefully it'll stop and I can continue round. A huge property on the left shows how long it is since I've been along here, because I've not seen that one before. Down a series of steps at the bottom. I think it's the section where we come out of Newstead Abbey grounds, although the wall on the right is still Newstead Abbey ground boundary. Private land. We've got this bit, the boundary is probably the wall. At the right hand side is still Newstead Abbey. Looking back over the Newstead Abbey grounds and the field, and then where the trees are used to be Newstead Sanatorium, an area that was left and taken over by John Bloor Homes, and they built a few houses on there. The boundary of Newstead Abbey grounds. Robin Hood Way is still going ahead. The John Bloor section has certainly got itself hidden over the years. You could see the houses quite clearly at first, with the trees growing up. And being spring, I suppose, as well, you can't see them. The properties in the grounds where this wall is the boundary have access to the Robin Hood Way. Which bends slightly just here. Here's the first of the properties. Climbing up past the last of the houses. And this bit is a woodland trust wood. I thought it had a name, Tippings Wood, but I can't see anything of that name now. Now, I think the path did used to go to that corner where the fencing is, but over the years, shortcutting off the corner, So we go round here. There is a post in the corner. This grove is dedicated by the Gruffalo, the Woodland Trust says. I nearly missed the turn here. It turns to the right down the track to the extension of Main Road, the road that goes to Kirkby, along the track. And out at the bottom onto the main road, which we cross and turn left. There is a sign for the Robin Hood Way there, but it's not telling us which way we go. We do in fact come out there and cross this road. And down the verge that side. And on the other side we find a narrow path here. There was some question a while ago about the grass growing over the track. I think if you didn't know the route here you'd have to follow a route description, because there's no signs telling us we turn here on the road to Sutton and Ashfield. The other road was the one to Kirkby and Ashfield. We're approaching Thieves Wood. I have a photo taken, well, 30 years ago or more, of two boards side by side describing Thieves Wood, and one has spelt it I-E and the other one has spelt it E-I. I don't know how long it remained there, but it isn't there now. So there's the boundary to Ashfield district. We're coming out of Gedling district, Gedling Borough, and here's our sign with the Robin Hood Way on it, down this footpath here. Into Thieves Wood. A Robin Hood Way sign, the Thieves Wood car park. I think this might have been the old coaching route towards Mansfield, and the title Thieves Wood speaks for itself. It's 10 o'clock, so that's about an hour and a half. I expect we'll see a few more people walking around from the car park. Here's the notices. And it was here that the two boards side by side, one with the wrong spelling. Thieves, i.e. there, Thieves and Hollowoods there, and we go straight on. This track joins a wider track which veers to the right, and then at the side of Fountaindale School, and to the A60, which I mentioned at the beginning, we have to cross to get back onto the starting side. So it's straight on, and I've just seen the main track on the left, which we'll be joining in a moment this way. And we're just about to join the main track. Here it is. Good morning. This is the main track towards Fountaindale. I think the main track turns to the right somewhere along here. About here. The green symbol is to the right, and then it swings to the right again. Possibly we've changed from Thieves Wood into Hollowwood. So we come to this corner here, and although there's no sign, the Robin Hood Way goes straight on. so it continues, coming out at the side of Fountaindale School, round the corner slightly and continues. The boundary fencing of the school. And so it approaches the A60. As I said before, we have to cross back over to the other side, so that we're on the right side of the A60 that we started at. And we have a right turn down the main road for a short distance. This is the A60. This is the direction from Mansfield to Ravenshead and Nottingham. We approach the crossing point. It's a very waterlogged area in this dip and along the valley towards Blidworth. There used to be a house in the dip on the right. It was eventually demolished as the site got so soggy and flooded. Maybe it was built when there were dry seasons in the summer, but we've had a lot of rain, and so it was eventually demolished. Now we cross over here, the path goes off down there. So I'll wait while the traffic passes. It comes quite fast, although there is now a 40-mile-per-hour limit down here. So it's across the road, the signs showing Ramblers Association Robin Hood Way down here. Through this small section of woodland. Rather a windy path, but quite clear underfoot. The junction tracks we're joining a more main track. It's got to be to the right. It would be helpful if there were some signs. Oh, here is a sign. It tells us that it's to the left, so we're really crossing over the track there. Eventually we come to the cross track that goes from Ravenshead to Mansfield. Somebody approaching, two people approaching with the dog. A rather split tree there. So we eventually come out of the wooded area, open up a bit before the cross track. Another track here, and the main track goes straight on. Another group approaching. Another cross track. Some sort of shelter on the right. Not completely weatherproof, and a big lake behind it. Has that always been there? I don't remember seeing it before. I said it was filling up with water. And here is the track, Ravenshead to Mansfield, running along the edge of the wood eventually. There's all the signs, the green one showing the Robin Hood Way. That's the way to Ravenshead. That's the way I'm going to go towards Blidworth, and there's the way towards Mansfield. There are some steps at the side, a pipeline. I don't know whether that's to assist drainage, whether it's got more flooded, and to keep the paths open we have to drain some water away maybe. Rather nice information sign that's rotted away, unfortunately, in the footsteps of Robin Hood. Very nice design. The friar took Robin Hood on his back, deep water did he bestride in Fountaindale. But for years it was dry, but it's got that big lake now. Warning to the public, this building site is private property. Now we come out of the wooded section. I know there was a lake here. That's there. Temporary permissive bridleway diversion to avoid crossing boardwalk. Okay, this way then, temporary way. Boardwalk is probably very slippery. Then we go around here. It looks as if it's been a permanent diversion. Nothing temporary about that. It's been like that for a while. As you can't see any regularly used tracks on the right. I think it's coming in here, but this one is much nicer. It says it's to avoid closed boardwalk now. This bit's somewhat soggy as well. Harder going on the sand, but it's better than being muddy. It's along the field edge on the left, but the silver birches have grown up in the past few years since I last walked along here. There's a sharp right in a moment to get onto the track that leads to the centre of Blidworth past the library. The pipeline going off down to the water. It's now nearly 12:30, so 4 hours since I started on the Robin Hood Way, but I took a diversion, so it's difficult to work out how long I've been walking on the Robin Hood Way. The whole walk should take about 3 hours. Now, is this where we turn? Let's have a look at this. It looks like it. Temporary closure. So I'm going down here. Coming to the gate from over the stream. The gate of the Robin Hood Way sign. Through the gate. think there used to be a gate here. And a way up the track. Going towards the end of that track, going to the road on the right, it leads to Mansfield Road, the A60, and Tabletop Tree. This Robin Hood Way route is to the left towards Blidworth. So we turn a very quiet by road, this one. Just ahead the road swings round to the left, but the Robin Hood Way goes straight on into Blidworth. This is cycle route 6 as well as the Robin Hood Way. A glimpse through the hedge towards Blidworth, and a better view. So this would be a neat cut through from Mansfield, turn off at Tabletop Tree without this track, except it's rather rutted now as we drop down into Blidworth. On the right, the view has opened up onto the outskirts of Blidworth. We're onto a tarmac road now. Slight hill, and then we drop down and into the main street at Blidworth at the side of the library. Gradually getting more and more properties. So at the end here is the main street, where we turn right, still following the Robin Hood Way, but very soon to depart. Entering Blidworth, the bus stop, and if you're following the Robin Hood Way, you would cross over the road here and go on the other side. It goes down the road on the left. So the Robin Hood Way turns left going towards Farnsfield, turns left at